Basic sentences with the phrase look after. They're looking after their sick friend. She always looks after her little sister. The nurse will look after your wound. It's important to look after your health. You have to look after your own safety. He has to look after his own interests. They promise to look after each other. We have to look after our environment. They always look after their customers. Can you look after the website for me? The tour guide will look after everything. The hotel staff will look after your needs. He forgot to look after his wallet and lost it. He forgot to look after his wallet and lost it. Can you look after the office while I'm out? Can you look after my cat while I'm away? They need to look after their own security. Can you look after the paperwork for me? The babysitter will look after the children. Can you look after the documents for me? She always looks after her family's needs. Can you look after the documents for me? She always looks after her family's needs. She always looks after her friends' needs. She's going to look after her sick mother. Can you look after the database for me? They need to look after their own finances. The coach will look after the team's morale. They need to look after their own well-being. I can't believe he didn't look after his phone. Please look after the house while I'm gone. She asked her friend to look after her dog. Can you look after the scheduling for me? The coach will look after the team's strategy. She always looks after her guests' comfort. She promised to look after her friends' pets. She's really good at looking after her garden. They're going to look after their own interests. She promised to look after her friend's child. I'll look after the cooking if you set the table. The nurse will look after the patient's needs. Can you look after my luggage for a minute? I will look after the arrangements for the party. She's really good at looking after her plants. The coach will look after the team's training. She always looks after her customers' needs. He's in charge of looking after the warehouse. I'll look after the transportation arrangements. I need someone to look after the kids tonight. Who will look after the store while you're gone? He promised to look after his elderly neighbor. The teacher will look after the students' safety. She promised to look after the family business. She was asked to look after the reception desk. They need to look after their own mental health. The teacher will look after the students' progress. He agreed to look after the company's finances. You should look after your personal belongings. The hotel staff will look after the guests' requests. She's going to look after her elderly grandparents. The nurse will look after the patient's medication. The team captain will look after the players' needs. The teacher will look after the students' education. Please look after my plants while I'm on vacation. The caretaker will look after the park's cleanliness. She's very responsible and looks after her siblings. Can you look after the files while I'm out of the office? She's really good at looking after her customers' orders. She always looks after her friends' emotional well-being. Can you look after the phones while I'm in a meeting? We'll look after everything, so you don't have to worry. The hotel staff will look after the guests' room service. My parents always looked after me when I was sick. Can you look after the accounts while I'm on vacation? He's in charge of looking after the company's inventory. Can you look after the receptionist duties while I'm out? He's responsible for looking after the sales department. Can you look after the cash register while I'm on break? He's responsible for looking after the company's assets. He's in charge of looking after the company's reputation. The caretaker will look after the building's maintenance. The coach will look after the team's physical conditioning. Can you look after the barbecue while I go get some drinks? Can you look after the reception area while I'm on a break? Can you look after the reception area while I'm out for lunch? She's really good at looking after her customers' complaints. He's in charge of looking after the company's production line. She's really good at looking after her customers' satisfaction. She's responsible for looking after the company's legal affairs. She's responsible for looking after the company's social media. They need someone to look after their house while they're away. The hotel staff will look after the guests' check-in and check-out. He's in charge of looking after the company's marketing strategy. Can you look after the reception area while I'm out for a meeting? They need someone to look after their property while they're away. She's responsible for looking after the company's training program. She's responsible for looking after the company's human resources. She promised to look after her neighbor's garden while they're away. She promised to look after her friend's business while they're away. They need someone to look after their dog while they're on vacation. They need someone to look after their farm while they're on vacation. Vacation. He's in charge of looking after the company's marketing